Hello everybody, welcome to Gregg's Vintage Workshop, where I'm restoring history one piece at a time. It's been a while since I produced a video. It's been about probably a month and a half or so, and there was good reason for that. I had gone down to North Carolina and had brought my granddaughter, Sophie, who is almost 10 years old, back to spend a month with her Nana and I. And so we had her here and we had a lot of fun with her. Hopefully she had a lot of fun with us. So I didn't produce any videos or hardly work at all in my workshop while she was here. But she's been gone now for about a week and a half, and I've caught up some things around my house here. So I started working back on the Motorola. So tonight we're going to be doing part 2 of the Motorola 5P31A, the 3-power portable AM receiver radio that I got off eBay a few months ago. My wife decided she liked the looks of it and said that she was going to have that one for herself. So I was all for that, and so we're going to finish it up tonight. In part 1, we did a little look at it, I disassembled it, I recapped it, I tested the tubes. In part 2, we're going to put it back together again, clean it all up, fix that damage on the side of the outside of it and a couple other spots as well, and show the final product. So sit back, enjoy, and without further ado, let's look at part 2. So I'm getting ready to start working on this Motorola again, and I'm getting ready to replace the 150 ohm resistor there and this 0.05 microfarad cap. Now the cap is across the line. So I've got an X2 cap that I'm going to use, and then I got a new 150 ohm half watt resistor that I got from DigiKey that is really tiny. Both these components are really tiny compared with what I'm replacing them with, but I guess that just shows you how components have changed over the years. Let me get these in and we'll take a look. Well, alrighty then, I got those replaced. There's the old resistor, there's the old cap, and there's the new assembly. I'm going to tie these wires together, give it a little more strength, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're going to start looking at the cabinet of this model 5P31A Motorola radio. I've got the electronic portion pretty much done. Now we just got to get this all cleaned up and try and do something with this damage right here. Get all that fixed, get all that cleaned up. I really would like to take this upstairs and kind of wash it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I need to get me a new plastic sleeve for this chain to ride in. I think I'm going to take this speaker out. It's just a matter of straightening these tabs up. That way if I'm spraying something from the other side, it's not going to get into it, because I don't want to ruin that getting it wet. So let's see if we can get these bent up. I don't know how easy that's going to be. I probably want to poke a hole in the speaker here before it's all said and done. There's one. I can start getting it up here. I think. There's that one. Let's get something a little bit different. Yeah, let's get something a little bit different. See if we can get this started easier this way. And then get underneath it. Yeah. That's going to work, I think. At least for that one. Then I can use pliers to finish bending that. And I think I got that one started. And that leaves that one. I don't poke a hole in the speaker first. Just turn this a little bit so I can see better what I got going on here. I'm not quite sure what that hunk of material is right there. I'll see in a minute, I guess, when I get these up. Alright, now I get a pair of pliers and bend that on up. Maybe. I hope this will come out of there. And hopefully when I go to put it back, they won't break off. And there it is. Because it was good we got it out of there anyway, because it's got dust balls and dust critters in there. Looks like it's in pretty good shape though, other than that. Let's take a little acid brush here. Brush that out. Get the professional air blow there. A little bit of a little buckle right there. I don't know what that's from, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Alright, let's put this where it can't get damaged. Rephrase that, put it where it shouldn't get damaged. With my cats, the way they roam around, anything could get damaged. So that's apparently there for a purpose. Not quite sure what that's for, but it's like a piece of fiber. Now the interesting thing is, it looks like there is some of this material right here, like there's material underneath this plastic cover. If there is, I wonder if I could get some of that off and use it to repair this. The only way I'm going to get that off is to melt off these little tabbies that they melted over in order to hold that on. And I'm just thinking if I can somehow get that off without, you know what I'm saying, to get these off, maybe I can get it pushed out, and then maybe I can just use some glue. There is still a little bit raised here. I might be able to get that back on there with some glue or try and flatten the nubby back down a little bit, because the nubbies, there is a little nubby sticking up right there. But I think it's the only way I'm going to get this grill clean the way I want it cleaned. Alright, I think I about got those off. Now the question is, will it push through? That one felt like it did. That one did. And that one did. We might get this off of here. Hope I'm keeping you guys in camera. I think that'll be the best way for me to get this cleaned up the way I want it cleaned up, as well as a possible way to get that fabric properly fixed. So let's hope. There it is. Okay, so it came off. Ah, look at that. Wow, you can see what that looked like originally. Oh my goodness. That is night and day difference. I'll never get that clean. Very interesting. Just see how I can get that. Alright, let me close this back up. I really can't get this handle off without drilling rivets, and I really don't want to drill the rivets. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything other than clean that as best I can with it attached. Alright, let me shut this up. Like that. Let's take a closer look at this. Pretty nasty looking there. Pretty nasty looking everywhere here. Alright, I'm going to take this upstairs and put it in a sink full of soapy water and just see how clean I can make this come. And I'll be back. Alright, so you probably hear my air compressor running in the background. I just blew this off. I just got through washing it up in the kitchen sink. It actually turned out pretty good, but it's still got some edge damage and stuff on here. Obviously the Motorola and the emblem came off. That's not a big deal. I'm gonna take this over and take my Orbital DA and polisher, I guess I want to call it. It's not really the DA, but I'm going to take it over there and see if I can get a little bit of a shine on here, get some of the roughness off of it. I'll be right back. Okay, I think it looks better than it did. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not perfect. I wasn't expecting it to be perfect. I'm just trying to get it nice and clean and as good as it can be, you know, to be original. So that's where we're at. Now I'm getting ready to put the Motorola and the emblem back on there with some liquid chrome. So I'll keep the camera rolling here while I do this. See if I can put it on an angle where you guys can see it better. Okay, so this is my liquid chrome pen that I use when I'm going to do this stuff. I shake it up and hope I still got some in here. And I hope I can keep you guys in camera while I try and do this. It's very difficult to do because I got to do it through my magnifier. And it's like you don't want to make a mistake, because if you do, it's kind of be boogered up. So if I can get that turned a little bit more, maybe get you guys a little bit closer. Let's see what we can do. There's the M.
It could be better, I wouldn't even know. Try to put my bluff when you had your last go. And I came for it, just say you make my last show. I could call, but you get the hang up. Stand on your motorbike. And for the most part, I don't lie. That was just crowded nights, that was just crowded. Did you predict how that was dark? Did you try to see it for me? And you had me climbing those trees. Standing cause the rings were older than I am. Cosmic. Stand on your motorbike. And for the most part, I don't lie. That was just crowded nights, that was just crowded. Did you predict how that was dark? Did you try to see it for me? And you had me climbing those trees. Standing cause the rings were older than I am. Cosmic.
Okay, so we're turning our thoughts to this now. I went and got a magic eraser. I don't know if you can see how well you can see that, but I've done right here and I've done right here, and you can see the difference in what that is, I hope. It actually is doing pretty darn good. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but you see how dirty that's turning. But it is taking some off, and so it might be that this piece, if I can get some material off of this, I'm not saying I can, but if I could get some material off this, it might actually come close to matching. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. I mean, I haven't got anything on this magic eraser either. It's just a magic eraser. Could be if I use something else on it, it could even work better. I don't know. But we're just going to continue to do this for the moment. If I had a spot that's not going to be that seam, I might try a little something on it. That's really close, so that's really coming up pretty darn good. I did have one of my viewers, I had mentioned something about me and my spices, right? I had mentioned something about, you know, a month or so ago when I did that first video that maybe I would try and mix up some acrylic paint about the same color. It's got some sort of a beigey yellowish tint to it, and flex some pepper on it to try and mimic this. And one of my viewers, I forget who it was, I apologize for not remembering. Mine's not as good as it once was, but he suggested using a brush, putting some black paint on it and folding the bristles back and flicking it, you know, letting it flick on there. I thought that was a really good idea. And depending upon how this goes, well, you guys can see that difference. This is all the brand new stuff, and that's where I've cleaned it. Look like that. I got this close enough, maybe you can see that, I don't know, but that's a big difference. Enough difference, I think, that it's gonna turn out pretty darn good here. Probably just, you know, smoking nicotine on here, 9 chances out of 10. I'm trying to get off of here. But if I can get a piece of fabric cut off of this thing that I can patch over that, that would be great. But I don't know. I know it's glued down, I just don't know how well it's glued down. And I know that that grill covers a lot of this, so if I could take a piece, looking at the grill here, it looks like the section over here doesn't have a chance of being seen. The other side maybe a little bit more so. I'll look a little closer at it. But this actually is coming up pretty nice. Almost exact match. I'm feeling pretty good about that. If I can get a piece off. Yeah, it's looking pretty darn good. So, the question is, can I cut a patch off? And I guess I need to use my tool here and see if I can cut something loose in a width that will actually work. I can't even tell where I just cut. Guess I should have marked it. Guess I should have somehow marked it. Hope you guys are still on camera. I apologize if you're not. Yeah, maybe. Something did something there. Something lifted something up. So the question is, am I all the way through the fabric? This is fabric, so I don't know. I don't know if I can get that off of there or not. I got a piece of fabric, but that ain't gonna do me any good. All right, well, you guys see what I'm attempting to do here. I did get a piece lifted. Maybe now that I got a piece lifted, I can use a bigger razor blade and get underneath there and bring up a whole piece. Because if I can bring up a whole piece, then I can fix that part out there. So I am going to continue to clean, and then I'll see about getting that piece off of there. I'll bring it back. I thought I'd bring you back and show you I did get a piece off. A big enough piece for the patch. Which the patch, as you can see, is considerably larger than the problem. I haven't cleaned that up yet, but I think when I do, it's going to match close enough that it'll be an acceptable repair. But I did want to show you guys that. Now when you next see it, I should have the repair in place. Hey guys, I thought I'd show you what I have done. As you can't see yet because I'm not showing it to you obviously, but what I was going to show you is I do have the front back on. And remember, I popped those tabs off that were holding on around those little round circles. So there was enough sticking up that I probably could have melted it back down, but I decided not to go that route. I decided to mix up some epoxy, and as you can see, each one of these I have dropped a little epoxy and let it just kind of spread out on there, so it'll wind up being fairly flat and it'll adhere to that piece of plastic. Now before I even did that, I actually put some double-sided tape on the front as well. So between the double-sided tape and the epoxy, I think the front's going to be on there nice and solid. What I haven't done yet is I've still got to find me a piece of plastic tubing that I can put over this that's broken right here. You know what I might do? I might just put some clear shrink wrap over that. If I got some clear shrink tube, I might just put some clear shrink tube over that. Alright, we'll see. Because that's still original. It still has some writing on there, I think. Maybe that is corrosion. Heck, I don't know what it is. Could be corrosion. Oh well. We'll see. One of the other things I did before putting the epoxy down, obviously as you can see I installed the speaker back and I cleaned that all up. I coated the interior of this with this Shield T9 rust and corrosion protection to try and cut down any corrosion activity might continue going on there. I wiped it all down first with some cleaner and a rag, and then I coated it with this and wiped that all down. It's like we had a little bit of corrosion in here, but that should take care of that. So this is that fiberboard piece that was over that, and it had this piece of adhered metal. I used to have some aluminum tape, but I don't have any more, so I'm just going to go ahead and use some hot glue and just stick that back on there, and then that'll be done. Looked like it had a little tear right here. I might try and fix that as well right there. Okay, so I got that hot glued on there. It's on there nice. I hot glued this seam right here. It was separated right there, so I filled it in with hot glue. And now I've got to get that back in there. And so I gotta take a look and see how that goes, because I'm running from memory. Let me bring up a picture. See, I got on my phone here, I got my pictures that I had taken. And okay, I think I see that. This is reference. Anytime you guys are working on this, just take tons and tons of pictures, because after a period of time, in my case it's been well over a month, and I just, you know, I can't remember what I had for supper last night, much less something like this. So So here's the assembly. Got the bulbs back in. Bulbs all tested out. And this looks like this. Goes in here. And you're off screen. I apologize for that. Let's see. Alright, I got it in there. I mean, it's not in there, it's just sitting in there. I got this on, I had a picture of it upside down, and it was throwing me off. So, we got it now. I think we'll be good. So now I just got to flip this over and put the pot nut back on, and it should be in place. And we'll hook that wire back up there, put this back over here, route the stuff where it needs to be routed, and I'll bring it back. Okay, let me show you what I got going on here. Get my pointer here. Okay, so this is all buttoned up inside here. I got there's 2 screws in the front that went into the tuning condenser, and then a nut on the pot. That's all in and that's all tight. I got my 2 antenna wires soldered back on here and here. I got my 1 speaker wire soldered back on right here. I've got my, I think I showed you this earlier, I got the safety cap and the 150 ohm resistor in there. That's all buttoned up. And what I did here, the purpose of this, I'd mentioned at one point, I wonder what that's for. Well, that was to hold the wiring there. So wiring's underneath that. I took the liberty of adding some wire ties to make everything neat. The tabs here, 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 and here were to locate the harness. Now I didn't like the metal tabs, they're just like that, so I went ahead and put some heat shrink tubing on them and shrunk them down. And then this is the actual lead for the battery, if you ran it on battery. One of the batteries, actually. Here's the other one right here. This one I didn't like the way it was just flopping around in there, so I put heat shrink on it, and when I shrunk the heat shrink, it kind of stuck it to my epoxy I'd put on 2 spots, which is fine because it's holding it in place now. Now, I mentioned early on this video that I was probably going to do a power pack, and I still very well may, but at this point I'm trying to get this thing together for my wife so she can still use it on cord, and that's what the plan is. So I wanted to show you all this before I close it up and plug it in and see if the dang thing even still works. And then if it does, then I've got to try and tune it. So let me get that set up and I'll come back. Alright everybody, she's finished, and I've got it connected up to my AM transmitter right now. I say hooked up, I mean I'm transmitting. It's not physically hooked up, it's just using the antenna, but I've actually hooked a long wire antenna to my transmitter, and it's picking it up pretty good. So I'm playing it out of my tablet here, and I don't have the volume up very high right now, but I'm going to turn it up for you guys here. Oop, I just turned it off. Sorry about that. Turn it back on. There we go. And I gotta scroll through this pretty quick before I get a hit. Come on. Sounds pretty darn good. And I get my local stupid radio station, talk radio station here as well. Let's see if I can pick that up for you guys. Get off of what I'm on here. And let's see what we get here.
Party Communications Director Abby Rahman issued the following statement. Quote, "We're disgusted but not surprised that Texas Republicans chose a certified racist conservative hardliner like Alan West as their new chairman." What? They're calling him a certified racist conservative hardliner.
And there it is. I think it turned out pretty good, guys. Let me move the... Oh, sure, you're going to come on now, huh? We don't need you coming on. Shut up. I don't need you interrupting my video. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. So, let's look at it a little closer. So, as you can see, the Motorola turned out really good in there, and the emblem. Everything cleaned up really nice. Got a pretty good shine to it all. And that's the side where the damage was. You can see the patch. But you know what? I think it turned out pretty good. I think it turned out pretty good. It's a little bit lighter because, as you remember, I cut it out from underneath there where there was no tar nicotine. But all in all, it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I think the wife's going to be happy with it. Now, I haven't done the power supply yet, and I don't know if I will because I don't think she's going to take it and carry it around anyplace. She's probably going to set it in the bedroom and over by her bed and turn it on once in a while. And so, again, this was a little short one, but it took a while because I had my granddaughter here for a month. But that's it. That's the Motorola. We'll call it done. Thanks for watching Gregg's Vintage Workshop. Stay tuned for the next project. Everybody stay safe out there.